Oh, now you're pointing at a cup.
Yeah, now I am.
Why, is that your personal one?
No, it's just that last time because I don't want to because you drank from the bottle directly.
Oh, wasn't I supposed to do that?
No, you were. You could have. But I thought about it. I'm just like, at the end of the day, because I can't drink from it, pandemic and all.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, okay.
Coronavirus.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, you know what? I think it's better to pour it in a cup.
Oh, okay.
So that way I can save the rest of it just in case. Otherwise, I'd be just throwing it all away.
Yeah.
But I got a different flavor for you this time around.
Ooh, this is going to be interesting.
This is an interesting one. So we're going to continue on with this game. And then I got 2 more this week as well. But these
really?
2 ones are like weird.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It'll be weird. So, Rene, how you been, man?
I've been pretty good.
Yeah, you're already recording, right?
I am.
I'm catching on now.
Yeah. The way that, you can tell by the way I talk.
Yeah, it's like your voice changes and whatnot.
Yeah, I have my podcast voice.
Can I tell you an interesting story that happened to me this week?
Go for it.
Okay, so Rainbow Six had their new season come out this week. Okay, so it had Sam Fisher, and I think we mentioned in the podcast before that you and I are pretty good Rainbow Six fans. You play Rainbow Six.
I play Rainbow Six. Yes.
I play Rainbow Six.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't call myself a hardcore fan, but I can appreciate it.
Yeah.
So I tried out the new season when it came out because I was really excited to play as Sam Fisher.
I haven't played it yet. I haven't played the new season yet, but I do want to.
You're a year behind, aren't you?
I'm so behind.
Yeah.
So I'm like 3 or 2 seasons behind.
You're 2 seasons behind?
I think so because
did you play year 5?
Yes.
You played some of year 5.
Some of it. I think I played in the beginning, if anything, and then my friends stopped playing it because they got tired of the competitors in it.
Okay.
But I was always still kind of interested, so I'll casually play once in a while. But it's not the same when you don't have your squad.
It isn't. I mean, at this point, because the battle pass, they did this whole battle pass system. It's at 70 levels, so I'm not gonna wait for my friends to play. I'm like, might as well just grind it out on my own. Mm-hmm. So I did that the first day it came out.
Oh, wow.
And I really wanted to play as Sam Fisher, so I'm like, sure, you know what? I'll totally try it out because this gadget's pretty cool. Mm-hmm. As I got into my 3rd unranked match, and usually on Xbox I don't talk because a lot of Xbox players don't, not like the PC community. They just mute their mics. And this 4-stack that I got into, I guess their party system wasn't working as well, or one of their friends' mics wasn't working. So they jumped from party chat to game chat, and they started communicating there. So I'm like, you know what? Might as well, right? I'll totally go into. Yeah. I'll start communicating as well. So then I start communicating with them, and I think I start going because I think one of them was Maverick. I'm like, Maverick, to your left, to your left, to your left. And after the end of that round, I think it was the second round, one of the guys was like, yo, because my gamer tag is Turtlag. He's like, yo, who's talking right now? Was that Turtlag? And I'm like, yeah, I'm talking. Yeah. And they're like, bro, man, why, dude, your voice is just, why is your voice so calming? And I'm like, what? And he's like, yeah, dude, it's my God, man, dude, is that your regular voice?
Is that your regular voice?
Yeah, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing anything. This is how I usually talk.
This is how I talk.
And the other guys, his homies start laughing. And they're like, dude, are you really getting wet over this guy's voice? He's like, yeah, dude, this voice is so good and stuff. So it goes on for a good minute. And then he asked me this. He's like, bro, do you ever, and I told this story to my girlfriend yesterday, and she started laughing. She's like, I told you have a good voice. I'm like, yeah, I don't believe it unless a guy says it. Because I think guys can validate it a little bit more. Mm-hmm. Girls will usually tell you, oh, yeah, you're really great. And then after a while, they kind of, it's like a lie. So that's why I'm like, you know what? It's kind of skeptical. And at least for me, you know?
It's nothing to you girls. It's just that, when you say it,
my experience.
My experience as well, too. Is when girls give me compliments, they're just being nice.
Yeah. So after about a minute of just kind of really getting excited over my voice, he's like, dude, do you ever he asked me this. He said, dude, where do you live? And I'm like, I live in Los Angeles, because I'm not gonna give the exact city I live in, but I'm like, I live in Los Angeles.
I go even broader than that. I just go just in Southern California.
Just in Southern California. I should have. I just said Los Angeles. He's like, dude, honestly, man, if you and I lived in the same city, we'd totally go pick up chicks together. And I'm like, what? He's like, dude, come on, you don't tell, you wouldn't go up to women and just pick them up with that voice. It works so well. I'm like, No.
No.
What the heck? First,
I already have a girlfriend.
But it was that experience alone just kind of it didn't weird me out, but it kind of I wouldn't say
it upped your spirits.
Yes.
But then it turned,
it was a weird experience.
But it made an interesting turn.
Yes. It was a weird experience. And it was all right. But my girlfriend was like, yeah, that's why you have a really good radio voice and stuff. And I'm like, I mean, I guess because I don't. At least I don't hear it.
Yeah, no, same here. People tell me I have a nice voice, like for radio or podcasting and stuff like that, and I'm just kind of like, I don't hear it. I just hear my own annoying voice.
That's what my girlfriend said, because I showed her a couple of the videos that I edited just to show her like exactly how I edit stuff, and she's like, "Yeah, you and Rene have a really good like video podcasting voice. Like it sounds genuine. Like it doesn't sound fake." And I'm like, I mean, I don't hear it, but
it's just our voices.
It's just our voice, because you have to listen to it to post some snippets on the Instagram page,
so
and I have to listen to it.
I listen to it in general. Like I just make sure that the sound's good, you know. So whenever you post it, I'm here at the store and I put an earbud in and I just kind of listen to the whole episode.
Oh, you do?
I listen to the whole episode just to make sure it's good, but then just to kind of like, I sometimes forget what we say.
Yeah,
and I'm kind of like, what did we say? You know, because it's like as soon as the episode comes up, I'm like, oh yeah, we talked about Chadwick Boseman. Why? Another thing, friend of the show Rebel has said that it is our best episode.
He did. I saw that.
Yeah,
I saw that.
Thank you for the compliment. And also another compliment. I think it's the same guy that listens to the podcast when he goes to work. I think his name is Joe King on Instagram. Joe King something. I'm sorry if I'm messing up your Instagram handle, but again, thank you for the compliments. He says he liked our last episode as well too.
Our Chadwick Boseman
one. That one's getting a lot of traction, which is good, especially on Instagram. A lot of people have liked it on Instagram.
Good.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, I think in that previous one it was more structured, and we wanted to make sure that it was a proper tribute to him.
Oh, definitely.
It didn't feel right to just record that episode and then just leave it as is and be like, yeah, it's a tribute. No, it's like we needed to talk about this and pretty much what he's done and all this. So I actually am pretty glad about that one.
Me too. I'm actually proud of that episode as well too. That one's getting a lot of good traction. Along with our best video right now is still Hamilton. Is it?
Yeah.
Hamilton's
because it's Hamilton.
It's Hamilton.
It's that YouTube algorithm stuff.
I know.
And if you guys haven't listened or haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, subscribe to our YouTube channel if you guys can. We'd really appreciate it. We're at 26 subscribers. We'd want to hit that 50 subscriber mark to get that custom URL. I think that's what the goal is. And I mentioned it before. So we're plugging this in early.
We're plugging it in early. That's fine, because we actually have big plans coming up pretty soon. Don't want to say what.
Ooh, yeah.
I kind of want to tease you guys a bit. A little teaser, you know.
We've been planning October as well too.
Yes, we have a lot of stuff coming in October. Some commentary tracks, maybe.
Probably.
Maybe not,
it just depends. We'll talk about it at the end of the episode.
Yeah.
Pretty much what we've been talking about. So we'll tease a little bit, and if there's any feedback on exactly what you guys would like to see regarding the things that we've talked about, let us know. As always, we appreciate the feedback, not just in person. We want to see them on the comments. We want to see them everywhere. We check everything out at the end of the week anyways. So just hit us up, even on our socials. We want to interact with you guys as well. And we know we have listeners too. We've been keeping an eye on the Podbean stats too. So let us know, guys. Let us know.
Some good traction. All right.
You want to hit the intro? I hit it last week.
Yes.
How confident are you on this one? Because keep in mind. Oh no, you know what? I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna put pressure on it. Go for it. Let's hit this.
Hello, Internet. Welcome to Keeping Up with the Nerds Variety Hour, coming to you from 12920 Philadelphia Street, Whittier, California, aiming to be Whittier's #1 podcast for all things nerdy. I'm your host, Rene.
And Bryan.
And welcome to the show, everyone.
Yeah. That's awesome, dude.
I try to do it at least calming and then, sound at least.
There's more confidence on our podcast now.
Because I feel this is episode 15.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Yeah. It's, let's see, for a month. That's 3 months, almost 4 months. Wow. Yeah, next week would be 4 months in a row that we've been going continuously. And I don't plan on stopping. Do you plan on stopping?
No, I don't plan on stopping.
There you go. We're not going to stop until we are satisfied. What if we go on into like our 40s just doing this, episode 250 or whatever?
Welcome to the show, guys.
What are we talking about?
What are we talking
Wait, that's
about?
40s. We wouldn't be like that.
No.
All right. So, Rene, last week we played a game because we admit it. We admit it. We're caffeine addicts.
We're caffeine addicts. I'm proud to say I'm a caffeine addict. Gets me through the day.
I'm not proud.
Yeah, you said on your Facebook post. You were so sad.
I quit cold turkey. I didn't quit cold turkey, but I was so you
were trying to stretch it out.
Yeah, because I used to drink heavily. Not drink. Oh, that's not wrong. I used to drink caffeine heavily, once a week, not during my work week. But it started getting bad to the point where I'm at my other, at my job, and just kind of like falling asleep. So I started drinking more caffeine. I'm like, dude, I don't like this. And that's why I posted that on my socials. I was just like, I cannot, like, I wish there was like an easier way to do caffeine intake. I actually did more research on it, and it's like supposedly they recommend no more than 400 milligrams of caffeine, which is like Bang is like 300.
Yeah,
so that knocks it out. Yeah, but I think it said something along the lines of like 4 to 6 cups of coffee you're allowed to drink or something like that. Just regular coffee.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, is that most people mix it with like cream and sugar and a lot of sugar. So it's like, I usually just drink my coffee black.
I usually put at least a little bit of cream, or it's just enough to make it like.
Unless it's dirt water, I'll put cream and sugar in there.
I'll put at least. I try not to put too much sugar, but I do put. For that, I put more cream to kind of like balance it out.
Yeah. No. If it's dirt water, because I've had dirt water coffee.
Oh, really?
It literally tastes like dirt. So I'll put cream and sugar in there. Anyways, the game that we played, because we drink Bang on these shows.
Yes.
This show.
on these issues.
You can tell I already need it right now. We're recording. Oh my God, man, I can't talk.
So if you guys don't know, we're recording here Sunday morning because a little about the episode. DC FanDome 2 happened yesterday, so we are here Sunday morning to record here. So that's why we're a little bit kind of like,
yeah, exactly.
You know.
So we drink Bang pretty much, and I am trying to convince you that G Fuel could be a very a much better alternative. Thank you. Yeah, thank you for filling in, because I'm going to struggle on this one until I drink something, you know?
Yeah.
So last week we played a game where I gave you a G Fuel and you tested it out to see if you liked it.
The flavor was, I guessed it was like a tropical one, or it was like a pineapple mango.
It was a green apple.
It ended up being green apple, which I'm still mad at myself.
Okay, so I've structured this game. Now it's officially the first time ever.
This is the official.
So if I'm going to introduce this, it would be like, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Keeping Up with the Nerds Variety Hour game show, starring Rene as our contestant, here at Guess That G Fuel.
You need to put that. You need to make like applause. You know, like the audience. Yes.
So, as I explained it last week, somewhat of a vague rule set. Pretty much, you're going to guess the G Fuel. You can't look at the color. You can only taste it. Smelling it is unavoidable because you're going to have to smell it in order for you to taste it a little bit. So that's going to be, something that I can't avoid.
Yeah.
But I've structured it so that there's punishments now, and there is hints that you're able to get.
Okay.
So when we start with, let's start with the hints, okay? So last week I said that you were allowed 3 hints. I didn't give you exactly how they were going to work out, but I've structured it better this time around. So 3 hints, non-regenerable, unless you can guess the G Fuel without using any hints.
I see.
Does that make sense?
Yeah,
so if you use one now and you guess it right, you only have 2 hints. Okay. But if you guess the G Fuel now without using any hints, instead of 3 next week, you get 4.
Oh.
Okay? So your hints are going to be out of these 3 options. You have 2 opportunities to see the color of the G Fuel, or you have multiple choice of 3 different G Fuels.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, that totally makes sense.
Yeah, because the color, even though it is easy, sometimes the flavors are a little bit difficult just to guess on the color. But if I give you 3 options, you might get it a little bit easier.
Yeah.
Punishment.
Yes.
I went to City Walk yesterday.
I can tell. What I'm holding in my hand.
I went to City Walk yesterday, and I stopped by a store called It's Sugar.
Oh.
And I thought of this idea where we can play a game of Bean Boozled as our punishment. So you have the easier punishment.
Yes, yeah.
You have the one that has a spinner, and when you spin it, you get to pick either, or it'll tell you which color jelly bean to pick.
Yeah, which jelly bean to pick up.
It's either good or bad, right?
Ooh, yeah.
On my end. And that's if you get it wrong.
Which, mind you, so okay, go ahead, because I want to read off some of these. Some people might know, but they actually added 2 new flavors.
Okay, so on your end, it's easier because you could either end up with a really good tasting jelly bean or a really bad tasting jelly bean. On my end,
so what is yours?
Is spicy jelly beans. Oh. There is no winning on my end.
It's just a spicy jelly bean.
It's just a spicy jelly bean. And then I'll let you read off yours in a bit, but I'm going to read off mine.
Go ahead.
It goes all the way down from sriracha to jalapeno to cayenne to habanero to Carolina Reaper. I haven't had these before.
Okay, so how are you on spicy foods?
I can tolerate it.
You can tolerate. Okay.
I can tolerate it.
But have you ever? So what was the highest spicy you've ever had?
Hot Ones, the Last Dab.
I've had that too.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
not bad
It's not
unless
bad.
you let it get to you.
It hurts.
Yes.
Don't get me wrong. It hurts.
Yes.
If you guys don't know Hot Ones is a YouTube channel that you can check out, and it's basically a guy eating hot wings. But each level of wing that they eat, gets hotter and hotter, and they're doing it with celebrities.
Exactly. Yeah.
And they created their own hot sauce called pepper with the newly,
It's a hybrid.
It's a hybrid pepper.
There's
yeah.
a small little video where they talk about exactly pretty much who designed it and how they worked it. I guess it's like a hybrid pepper that doesn't exist. It's like Pepper X or something.
It's like some botanist guy did it or something. Yeah.
It's specifically for this, I guess, which is like, okay, cool. So go ahead. What are your jelly bean flavors?
So, for me, I'll name off the good flavors and then the bad ones after that. So I have the potential to get either toasted marshmallow or stink bug, which that's one of the new ones, which I'm not looking forward to. Or I can get birthday cake, or it could be dirty dishwater. Which
That's not that bad.
That's not that bad, but I haven't had dirty dishwater before.
Is barf in there?
It looks like they may have taken that one out because what looks like it would have been barf because it's strawberry banana smoothie. They replaced it with dead fish.
That's bad.
Yeah, that's really bad. Berry blue, or it could be toothpaste, which I'm not bad.
That's
not bad.
Yeah.
Chocolate pudding, or it can be canned dog food, which
I was thinking. Okay.
I'm not too thrilled about it, but I wouldn't be mad if I got it.
You haven't had dog food before?
I've had dog food before.
Okay.
I've tasted like when it gets on your fingers and stuff. And
Oh well, yeah.
you
You got to prep for the apocalypse.
Yeah, definitely. Or I could get coconut, and then this is the other flavor I'm not really excited because I have tasted this before. Is spoiled milk, and I hate spoiled milk. It's gross.
Oh,
It grosses
yeah,
me out.
no.
Yeah,
Especially when it's chunky.
Yeah, or like one day when you're like kind of going in the fridge, you're like, I'm a milk. Oh yeah, I have some last bit of milk left, and then you just kind of chug it, and you're like,
it tastes like no. I've had that before. That's terrible.
Right? Flashbacks. Tutti Frutti or Stinky Socks, Juicy Pear or Booger, and then and then two more, Peach or it could be Barf. Oh, there's Barf right there. Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah. And then the last one, buttered popcorn or rotten egg.
That's a bad one. Have you had rotten egg before?
I've never. I don't remember I've had rotten egg. I think out of my chances, I've always had buttered popcorn.
So, from my experiences, I'll tell you this: vomit is the easiest one to kind of out of like the worst ones. Out of the two worst ones,
it's weird because it tastes like it.
It does,
which is weird. You've had
I don't want to think about it though.
No, but I'm saying, what trips me out is that when it comes to like barf or stinky socks or even spoiled milk, that they actually taste like what they are. So you're thinking, how did they generate those flavors though?
It's the magic of the jelly bean. What is this company called?
What was it?
It's Jelly Belly.
Jelly Belly.
Jelly Belly, yeah.
Jelly Belly.
Okay, so are we ready to play this?
Yes.
Okay, here we go.
Talking about it 20 minutes
yes.
into the episode.
Oh shoot. Okay, so let's get into this. Hang on, I'll be
Okay.
right. Hang on. So I'm gonna give you this.
He's right now. He's handing me guys the.
I cannot look inside.
I cannot. Okay, so I'm closing my eyes. Just handing me the thing. Okay. Now I can't smell it, but so I'm closing my eyes, guys, right now.
Smell it. That's fine.
Oh, I can smell it.
You can you're gonna need your sense of smell.
Well, yeah. While I'm taking a drink
Yeah.
and stuff. Yeah.
Okay, go for it.
Dude, I did not know what this is.
Ooh. You could use a hint.
I think closing my eyes really ruins my state, like my senses.
Okay, open them up. Just don't look.
Okay.
Just don't look.
Oh wait, now it's settling in.
I'm
I'm gonna go for another drink.
You can open them. Open your eyes. You don't have to look inside though.
Dude, that like at first it doesn't taste like anything, and then it tastes a little sweet after, like the aftertaste.
That's what G feels like. It literally tastes like nothing until like you let it settle in.
Okay, it tastes like strawberries or some sort of berry. It's a berry, I think.
It's a berry.
Yeah.
Is that your final answer?
I want to say it's raspberry of some sorts. Yeah, it's raspberry.
Raspberry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you sure? Lock in that answer?
I don't know. I'm looking
Lock
at you.
in that answer.
Yes, raspberry. I'll say raspberry.
All right. Renee,
Yes.
I will give you that answer.
Really?
Yes, it's mixed berry.
It's mixed berry.
It's
oh,
mixed
okay.
berry.
Okay.
Ding, 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 ding. We have a winner.
It did taste kind of berry. That's the thing,
It's
too.
mixed berry. I'll give it to you because you said strawberry,
Yeah.
then you said raspberry, and then you said berries. So I'm like, okay, yeah, that's fine. So that's why I'll give it to you. It's called phase berry. but it's a mixed berry. It's like pomegranate, blueberry, some sort of other berries in there. Yeah.
That's not bad.
It's not.
That's actually pretty good. I'm going to finish whatever's in here.
Go for it. There's more here. All right. So you're safe from this week, Rene. This means that I actually have to eat from my Bean Boozled jelly beans of the Fiery Challenge. Oof. All right. Here we go. Mixing them up real quick. And we have...
Ooh, what color?
Oh, that's orange. That's not good. Habanero.
Habanero?
Habanero
have
for
you
the
ever
first
had like habanero before?
Yeah. I've eaten it raw before.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I've never
it sucks.
had that.
Okay. Oh, God. Here we go. Oh, it does not taste good. Oh, no. Oh, I thought it wasn't going to hurt. Not hurt, but I thought it wasn't.
Spicy? Is it spicy?
Ooh, it tastes kind of. Oh, no.
That's all habanero is, man. Like, honestly, like habanero as a pepper, it does have a flavor. If you take out the spiciness, the flavor's nice, but the heat is what sucks. You okay?
Yeah, it tastes like Lucas. Like.
Oh. Like Lucas?
No.
What is
it? It's good.
It's good.
It's really good.
Is that why you're saying? Oh no.
No, it like it's there. I can feel the heat.
Yeah, you can feel a little spiciness to it.
All right. Rene, go ahead and start this. What's the topic of today?
So today, as I said earlier, guys, today's topic is DC Fandom 2 because this is part 2 of what DC Fandom did. Now, this was basically part of, the whole DC thing where before DC Part 1, DC Fandom Part 1 was basically all the movies, all trailers, all the big hitters that DC has in plan for us to show. This one is more... what it looked like, it was more panel friendly. You get to watch certain different panels, one being about past actors that played DC supervillains in their past and stuff like that, which was really good. Bryan watched that. He said that was really good. Also, another panel that, again, we talked about here on the show was Batman 3 Jokers. We get to see Jeff Johns and Jason Fabak, talk about what's to come, what their plans are for Batman 3 Jokers, that it's going to be a Hamlet kind of thing, like a DC Hamlet.
No. So, oh man, I'm gonna be. This habanero is gonna stick with me. I'm actually gonna start drinking my Bang.
I'm gonna start. So again, the new flavor of Bang that Bryan has brought us is something that I've never had, but I have lemon drop before. But this is lemon drop sweet tea.
Oh, it tastes really good. Okay, so, so the all superhero villain panel, which was recommended to us by our friend of the show.
It is good. Just like tea.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Holy crap, man! This is gonna stick with me throughout the whole show. I hope not. It's like right at the tip of my tongue. So the all supervillains panel was recommended to us by a friend of the show, Rebel.
Yeah.
And as they were interviewing different people who have portrayed villains in the DC TV shows, cartoons, movies, stuff like that, they were talking about how the Joker is pretty much one of the most well-written characters in all of literature. Mm-hmm. I believe that's what Troy Baker said. I don't really want to quote him on that. Mm-hmm. But they were describing him as like almost Shakespearean in a way, where it could be like their Hamlet, I guess you can say. It could be portrayed in many different ways, but you'll always have that one kind of like person that you guys look up to. Yeah. For a lot of them, it was like Jack Nicholson, basically. Yeah. Or Cesar Romero. Kind of thing. Like those Jokers were the inspiration for many of these actors who have portrayed the Joker throughout the years. Yeah. That's pretty much it. But like you said it before, I'm salivating, man. These things actually work. Rene, you got to get the next one wrong. But yeah, so this DC Fandom 2 event was teased about 3 weeks ago?
Yeah.
It was literally like a week after the first event happened. And like you said before, it's just a more panel heavy. We had the verses and everything like that. So let's start with this, Rene. Mm-hmm. How much of it did you actually watch experience-wise?
So experience-wise, I did get to the point where I saw like the format of it on my phone, which again, before you weren't able to see any of the different verses available as they were promoting it the first time around. But that was because it was mostly for a basically PC based. Mm-hmm. Now, I don't have a computer at home, guys, money wise and everything. So, but I watch everything on my phone, you know? So this time around, I was like, you know what? Let me see what they're doing for the part 2. So, and it was all available on my phone. All the little verses, they had it right then and there. I was like, oh wow, that's really cool. So they, I saw that, and I saw the Harley Quinn Q&A, which was really funny. It was just a short little animated
10 minutes
thing. Yeah,
but I think that came out during the original Hall of Heroes.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Okay, so I didn't get the chance to see that. I did watch some of the villains one, but not a lot because it was super long and stuff like that, and I was working here. I did see the Batwoman highlights of the Batwoman panel, which was pretty cool. The show, they're saying that she's gonna get a new suit and everything. So like, okay, cool, for the new actress and stuff. And what else did I saw? Oh man, I didn't get a chance to see the Three Jokers one, but I wanted to see that one. I did read that the Flash movie is gonna be the one that's gonna restart. I'm watching Bryan, guys. He's in pain right now. His tongue's burning. Do you want water?
No, I'm good.
Okay,
keep going.
Okay, and basically just that Flash is gonna basically restart everything in the DC movie verse. So I'm like really excited for that.
That was already kind of expected, though, right?
Yeah, that's the thing. But that was something that they confirmed. Now it was like
at a Flash panel.
Yeah, and I was at the Flash panel. But that's pretty much it. What did you watch?
I watched the All Villains one.
Yeah.
I kind of watched the world premiere of the Superman movie, The Man of Tomorrow, because they showcased the entire movie.
Really?
Which is cool. I'm like,
that's
all right.
awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't see that. Oh, I
was like, I didn't catch it. I was like, why is this thing an hour and 30 minutes long? And it's like, oh, the entire movie.
It's the whole movie.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. So I watched that. I watched the Three Jokers panel. I watched a little bit of the Deceased panel as well. And then I kind of just checked out the website here and there. Oh, my favorite one, the Harley Quinn panel.
Oh, the Harley Quinn
Not
panel.
the Q&A.
Yeah.
I watched the Q&A.
Yeah.
But the panel itself, I don't know if that one was maybe in the original the Hall of Heroes, because it was a 25-minute segment.
I don't think it was.
Okay, so then it probably was on its own for this for yesterday.
Yeah.
But I watched that one, the Three Jokers, the Harley Quinn panel, the Deceased. I watched a little bit of the art behind the scenes kind of stuff as well, just to kind of get a feeling of it. But I mostly spent my time watching or looking at pretty much the structure and the format of this website now. Out of everything that you watched, Rene, what was your favorite parts of it? Like, not just panel wise and information wise, but what did you think of like the actual DC FanDome 2? That's what we're gonna call it here. It wasn't the official name.
DC FanDome 2, yeah.
Yeah.
If anything, I liked that it was available on mobile.
Mm-hmm. The mobile site was pretty good, right?
The mobile site was actually pretty good. It was better than I thought. I didn't think it was going to be as smooth as it was to watch it on your phone. Mm-hmm. And then also just like everything available, that it wasn't a streaming thing, which was, again, that was cool though. I love that they did stream everything for 24 hours.
Yeah. But
you can tell that there is a flaw behind that, because like, what if you're not tuning in during that specific time?
Exactly.
But at least with here, this is essentially what we were thinking about when it first got announced that DC was going to do this, that we were going to click on to certain worlds and stuff like that, and then go to watch this just already recorded panel and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So obviously it met our expectations.
Yes.
And what we already thought what was going to happen and stuff.
Basically, yeah. So rather than, because the way I kind of plan this episode out for us is, I mean, every other like media site will pretty much cover like their announcements and what they thought of it and all this other stuff. I want to discuss the actual format with you on this whole DC FanDome thing. I want to tackle it from a different side, just because we spoke about pretty much how conventions were going to go from here on out due to the pandemic, ever since issue 0.
Yeah.
Ever since issue 0. And this was pretty much one of the most prime examples next to Comic-Con on how conventions can be handled when everything is closed down, right? So before we move on to that, because that's going to be the hefty part of this conversation, I kind of want to hit on your highlights. Like, you watched some of the All Villains panel as well. You said that you watched the Wonder Woman as well. Give me, because I do want to make a video about this, like our top 3 kind of like good, like our top 3 favorite things about this. So just stay tuned for that one, guys. It'll be on this week, because there's still some planning to do with it. But tell me like one thing that you really kind of like liked out of everything that you saw there.
Well, one of the things that I enjoyed about if anything, because again, guys, I didn't watch a lot. I was here at the working here. So
you said the Flash panel though, right?
The Flash panel was interesting. Well, I read that they announced that.
Okay, so you read it.
I read it, but I didn't watch it. And that also, well, you know what? One thing that I did find interesting was the Flash panel for the show as well too. And I'm not too sure if it was from last time or this time, but they announced that was it Barry Allen in the show is gonna get his golden boots in this season coming up.
I don't think that was in last week's though.
Oh, so this was this one,
or
then?
not last event. I think this might have been this one.
Okay, so this was the new one.
I might be wrong.
Yeah,
I might be wrong, but
which I didn't even notice that in the show. I was like, oh wait, yeah, he doesn't have his golden boots. Yeah, I was like, shit. I was like, I completely forgot about that. So I was like, because the writers did say that's something that Barry has to earn, and I'm like, oh, okay. So they're slowly.
This is in the show, not the movie.
This is the show.
Okay.
This is the show, the TV show, the CW show, that Barry Allen's finally gonna get his golden boots, and then that's like the full-fledged transformation for him and stuff like that.
Okay.
Which I was like, at first I was kind of like, that's kind of lame that they're holding him back, as costume-wise. They want to hold everything back, but again, seeing how Flash looks on the show now, that his suit's more bright and vibrant and stuff. It's not kind of like it was like a maroon kind of look.
Yeah.
First by like season 1 and stuff.
Yeah. And
he finally has his white symbol with the lightning bolt over it and stuff, which is good. But then I was like, wow, it took him 6-7 seasons to get him to his golden boots. So I was like,
but didn't we talk about this in one of the earlier issues where we kind of like, I don't know, I don't want to say we, because I don't know if you agreed with it, but I pretty much said that the CW shows are more for like a casual audience where like they have to tell a separate story away from everything that's mainline to kind of have this appeal for the audience that don't necessarily know the full stories of the superheroes.
Yeah.
So it only makes sense, though, right, to have the Flash specifically have to earn portions of his costume to get it complete.
But then that just reminds me of, like, Smallville, where it was like, it took him 10 seasons to fly. Where, when really, like, and this is me just being a comic book snob, where it's like, he already knew all of his powers when he was young. He knew he could dabble into his powers by that time. And the thing was that it was like basically by like season 7 he knew he could fly, he just didn't know how. It was like watching Hook.
I remember, you're right. I remember watching it as a kid and having like them showcase, like advertise the fact that he's flying out, and I'm like, oh well, how long has this show been on air and they haven't had him fly? Yeah, that's why that show never really appealed to me. It was just kind of like holding back on everything that was Superman. I guess it was like Gotham without the Batman. This is like,
oh my god,
See,
and like I get that, and the thing is too is that when it comes to superhero shows or comic book shows, I don't know why writers love to take their time with the essential origin of the character,
because it allows them to stretch it out.
But the thing is that you have a perfect example of a show that's already established his origin and already. We already know everything about this character, and that's Batman the Animated Series. And that basically we didn't even get his origin in the first episode.
But this goes back to this idea that these shows are more for a casual audience that aren't us. We know, we know Barry Allen's origin story. We know what happened to him. Yeah. So we don't need to see all of like the first 2 or 3 seasons of The Flash to see him develop it. It'd be interesting to see it because it's a different take on it, but we know. Yeah. We also know at this point the entire world knows detail to detail Batman's origin as well. Yeah. Those things are told. But from a writer's perspective, it kind of makes sense to stretch it out a little bit just so that way they can have a show to work on, but also give their take on like their origin stories and stuff like that. But, so I get you on that. But the show, like, what got me frustrated why I don't watch Flash anymore is that because I remember in season 1 where it's like they show. Do you remember that they showed like the newspaper? Yeah. And it says Flash missing during crisis, and it shows the much brighter suit and the symbol's white. And I'm like, they're looking at the costume, how it looks, and they still haven't changed it like since they sleep. Oh, look, that maybe that's why. I mean, that was a pretty big move, like for them to say. And look, nothing wrong with the show. You watched it a little bit.
I've watched it. I have my gripes with it. Because again, I'm being a comic book snob right now.
Yeah.
But again, I do see where you're coming from. It's just that, the show got a little repetitive where it was just basically like, oh yeah, a speedster comes and messes with Barry's life and stuff.
Yeah.
And then the way they were going with certain characters, trying to promote certain characters, you're just like, they're not really that important, but I get what you're trying to do for the show.
I used to watch The Flash and Arrow back to back. Like, those are my shows for a good maybe 3 or 4 seasons. I know that the Arrow, I was a little bit... I watched The Flash up to like season 3, and I think the Arrow was like a season or 2 ahead. So I watched up to a point, and then I just kind of gave up afterwards.
I never watched Arrow. I watched season 1 Arrow, and that's what it was like long on Netflix.
At least in my opinion, this
is your opinion.
This is my opinion.
Yeah.
This was Batman without the Batcave, is what
basically,
Arrow felt. Yeah.
No, and that's basically how Arrow came to be. Was that originally they wanted to do a Batman show, but Warner Brothers goes, no, that's a movie character.
Yeah.
We don't want him as a TV character.
So Green Arrow came to be.
Yeah.
Which, it was good at the beginning.
It's the same format that they wanted to do. They just took Green Arrow and
Yeah.
just put a Green Arrow skin on it.
Yeah. But they got panels, and so did Batwoman, which is good because Batwoman, the main actress, I forget her name.
Oh, Ruby Rose?
Okay.
I want to say that.
Okay, we'll say that.
Yeah.
Asterisk. She left the show.
Yes.
And they hired someone else.
Yeah.
And they've honored, we said this before, they're trying to honor the fact that Batwoman still exists.
Yeah.
But a new Batwoman will take
this is
the
a
mantle.
Completely new character, which I like that they're not completely replacing her.
Mm-hmm.
I'm always all for continuity within shows, so it's like I hate when certain shows just brush off an actress or an actor and just act like it never happened.
No, and they're kind of respecting it, which is cool.
Yeah.
These panels with how accessible they were. I'm really glad I got to see a couple of them because you really got to see like you got to see not these people, the producers, the actors, and everyone that works on these things, like not at the convention themselves, but like in their comfort of their own home. And I think that kind of brings out something different amongst them. So for me personally,
go ahead.
like
Your highlights,
the all supervillain panel was pretty great. I enjoyed that one a lot, specifically just because I finally get to see the voices of the people that, and I said this before in the in our little group chat that I'm terrible when it comes to like placing actors or actresses' names on certain characters, or certain characters, even live action or cartoon. I'm terrible at that. But when I get to see them, it's like, whoa, that's pretty cool, right? So Diedrich Bader.
Diedrich
Bader.
Diedrich Bader.
John DiMaggio, Troy Baker, Mark Strong, all these people, Jason Isaac, Gina Gershon, like these people have all worked on some of my favorite DC animated movies and cartoons and TV shows. Live action TV shows and movies, and it was great to see them kind of give out their take and their looks on what it was to be a villain. You mentioned this at the intro that they pretty much they refer to it as like a Hamlet and stuff like that. They're just simply referring to what it would be like to, portray the Joker. Because I think John DiMaggio was the Joker in Under the Red Hood. And it was John DiMaggio and Troy Baker. They were both two together.
Oh yeah, they were
in
both,
the second panel, and they both portrayed the Joker. Troy Baker in the Arkham series, and John DiMaggio Under the Red Hood. I hope I'm getting that right.
That's right. Okay. You're good.
In Under the Red Hood, and they were pretty much talking about how it was to interpret the Joker, pretty much comparing it to Heath Ledger.
Yeah.
Am I right? Heath Ledger's Joker. Yeah. See, I'm terrible with names, so I have to confirm that. But they were comparing it to Heath Ledger and saying like, oh, well, he took his own take on it and stuff like that, and they had inspiration from Cesar Romero. They figured that not one person can play the Joker. It's all on their take. It was Shakespearean. It was a form of literature and stuff like that. So I'm like, yeah, this is really cool to see, and they really got this kind of like grasp on what it was to be a hero. My favorite line that came out of that was, "Villains are just heroes in another story." And I think people forget that.
No, it's true. They have their own origin, they have their own reasons, and they have their own beliefs and why they do what they do and stuff.
Yeah.
That's why I think now people are catching on to villains.
Yeah.
Before it was kind of like, oh yeah, you just want to see the complete opposite of the hero. Like you want to see that.
Yeah.
But now writers and screenwriters and actors are now getting interested of how these villains work, how the mindset, why they do what they do, it's almost like they said, it's like very Shakespearean, you know. It's very interesting that you get to see how and why these villains are the way that they are.
They brought the example of Mr. Freeze. Like, he's technically not a villain, even though he does villainous things.
He does things in his own personal beliefs.
Yes, but he's doing it because of something that happened to him and his wife. You know, I don't think they weren't married, right?
No. Well, there's been different interpretations where it's like it's actually been his wife. In the New 52, it was actually a woman that he just fell in love with randomly, and he never even actually talked to her, but he still tries to keep her alive and stuff like that.
It is just someone that he falls in love with. And my favorite thing was like, they asked Mark Strong, what kind of villain would you play? And he's like, well, Mr. Freeze would be really nice. And I'm like, yeah, I can see him being Mr. Freeze. I know I might get some disagreement, but I really like, I see him as Mr. Freeze.
I could see him as Mr. Freeze. That'd be cool.
My favorite one, the Harley Quinn panel, and I am telling you to watch the show.
For the longest time, I've gotten DC Universe maybe twice, but this was before the Harley Quinn show. I watched Titans, and I've watched obviously Young Justice, which I'm excited for. The new
they announced the new season,
Young Justice Phantoms, which I'm excited for. They still haven't put out a release date for that. I think because with everything that's going on, they don't want to put a release date.
No, that's fine.
Yeah.
And how long did it take for season 3 to come out?
It took like a year and a half.
Which is good. Yeah. Just let them work on it. Let it be really good.
It'd be something to look forward to.
Exactly.
And then, I got off track for a second.
Harley Quinn.
Harley Quinn. So the reason why I haven't watched Harley Quinn is because when I got DC FanDome, it wasn't out yet, but they were promoting it and they just announced who they were getting, and I was like, okay, cool. But then the thing was that I caught up with all the shows that I wanted to watch, and I just got rid of it.
And you just stopped, right?
Yeah.
No, I am telling you, we'll make a video of like pretty much extended explanation of what we really liked and what we didn't and all this other stuff. But the Harley Quinn panel, fantastic. I will tell you this. I'll explain more in the video. I can't pronounce her last name, but
Kaylee Kuko.
Kaylee Kuko.
Yes.
I love.
Yes.
I really liked her in Big Bang Theory.
I've loved her long before that from 8 Simple Rules.
Oh, see, no. Okay. See, I don't know if it was that far back, but I know her.
I've been following her that far back, yeah.
See, since Big Bang Theory, like, because she was portrayed as a hot girl in Big Bang Theory, so I was like, okay, well, whatever. She's like, whatever, you know, like, whatever. Another side character or whatnot. But the fact that she voiced Harley Quinn and did such a really well job doing it, I'm like, okay.
Which is funny because she's not trying to disguise her voice. It's actually her voice.
Yes, and it fits.
And it fits really well with Harley Quinn, and I just love it. With a little bit, like, she kind of gives you like a little bit of an accent, but not to the point where it's her voice where you kind of like, oh no, wait, is that Kaylee Kuko? No, it's Kaylee Kuko's voice.
Yeah.
But it's so funny. Like I said before, when they did a Harley Quinn Q&A, and they did the whole thing was like her in quarantine and stuff like that. And she stays in character so well. One of the ones was who would you sleep with, who would you marry, and who would you kill? And it said Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman. And she goes, ooh.
Yeah.
She goes, oh man. She goes, sleep with Wonder Woman and then kill Batman and Superman, or then have them fight with each other until they start mentioning their mother's names.
Yeah.
I was like, that is so great. Thank you for that.
That's the thing. If you get the chance, I say find it and watch it, because that panel is what is the example that I would use in showing what it's like for a cast and crew to really love what they're doing.
Yeah.
My favorite character in the Harley Quinn show is King Shark.
Yes.
I know people love Clayface.
I love King Shark as a character. In general.
I did not know. And keep in mind, again, I'm terrible with actors' name. Ron Futches is the voice of King Shark. And when I saw him, like, interviewing for the whole thing, I was like, oh my God, I love this dude. And the fact that he's King Shark makes it so much better. Because King Shark is just so great. And he said it himself. He's like, yeah, I just play myself. That's the beauty of Harley Quinn. Is that show has everyone kind of just play themselves. Alan Tudyk, just phenomenal voice actor.
Oh yeah, Alan Tudyk is a great voice actor.
I cannot appreciate that man enough. That man is fantastic, and the fact that he's Clayface and the Joker, great. And then what's his name? Matt Oberg. He literally said it himself. He plays Kite Man. He's like, yeah, I just play myself. Really great, really great.
Yeah.
I will explain more of that in the video and stuff like that. But I do want to get to this portion of it where we take a look at how this was formatted and stuff like that. And I want to ask you this simply because, we'll lead it into, we'll give our explanations here and there, between the two of us. But what did you think of the format of everything that we saw in this event? Now that we have the first one where it was a direct presentation, we just saw the 8 hours of everything and you just jumped in at whatever point and you saw it from then and there. This is more controlled. We have the different verses that were, teased long before, and we have markers now. So if you want to jump on to a different portion of the last panel or the last event that happened, you can totally do that. Just click on the thing and it'll take you to the hour mark of that event. You get to see it. What did you think of that?
I actually loved it a lot. The whole format, I'm going on it right now just to kind of get right now, it's really cool. They have the Watchverse, Insiderverse, all sort of things. So if you just want to watch trailers and stuff, you go to the Watchverse. If you want behind the scenes kind of stuff on what's coming up or what they did and how they did it, you go in the Insiderverse. Hall of Heroes is still there. You can still watch all the stuff previous as well too. I haven't checked on Funverse. Did you ever go on that
Funverse?
one?
That's Kidverse. That's Kidverse.
Oh, is it Kidverse? No, there's
Kidverse is the
No, there's two. There's Funverse and Kidverse.
Uverse is the one where they showcase art and stuff like that. Kidverse is just the area for kids, like the Teen Titans Go Tower.
Okay. And then there's also look, you get like a little things where trivia, Lego Fun Zone.
That's right.
Really,
it's the interactive portion.
Yeah, it's the interactive portion.
Yeah.
And the Joker's escape room. That's really interesting. I didn't see that. That's actually really cool. And then look, you can get downloadable TV. So what I like about this one is that there's also downloadable stuff that you can have. You can have like wallpapers, or you can have little backgrounds as well too. There's more. They're treating it like a convention where as soon as you come in, you get all these little free little flyers, all these little knickknacks. Here you get downloadable DC video games, which is really cool. That's awesome. And then like a little Photoshop thing, and then the store, you can get merch.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So everything you literally found all this in like the 2 minutes pretty much of you going in there.
Yeah.
It's like super quick and easy, and everything was mapped out perfectly.
Yeah. So it's basically like I said in the earlier in this episode, this matched what we talked about, what we expected and more, basically.
Now, keep in mind that the map was teased differently, right?
Yes.
Did you wish that map was the interactive portion of it rather than it just being like a 3x4 square of like the icons of the different verses you can get into?
I actually like this format more. Yeah, this is much easier, if anything.
It's okay.
Yeah, this one, the interactive one would have been cool, that we mentioned, or was it issue 1 or 0? The way, because I remember what we talked about, where it was like, oh yeah, we get to go through maybe like a bat cave and stuff, and then like maybe there's something on the computer. And
was it that far back that they teased it in issue 0 almost 3 months ago? Yeah, they did.
They were saying that like you had to go through different like areas.
That was issue
that
1.
They were that they were gonna promote and stuff like that. But I think because of the the outbreak and stuff, the reason why it shut it down even more and halt production on certain things. They had to kind of basically tweak it a little bit more
to change it up a little bit and stuff. But regardless of it, it looked nice. The really presentation's pretty good.
Even though, and obviously Jim Lee did this because this is Jim Lee's art. I can tell by the way he's shaded and the little lines of how he does it. Jim Lee did all of this. He did those little icons that you see right here, these 6 icons, and they look beautiful.
Yeah. So we talked about accessibility. You found everything within like a minute. You pretty much clicked in, done. You were pretty much looking for what you were looking for. Is it worth getting into?
Definitely. Yeah. This is really cool to for all DC fans. They did it really well, and not only just for DC fans, but also any sort of person that's interested in it. You can just easily just kind of click on it. It doesn't look overwhelming. It doesn't feel like, oh man, there's too much I can't look at. No, it's all helpful. It's all friendly user base.
Much better than the first one, right?
Definitely.
Because I felt like the first one, you just typed in DC FanDome, took you directly to the video, and it was a live video already. If you missed the announcement, sucks, you're going to have to wait again, or look at a different media site to figure out what you wanted to watch and stuff like that. I like the fact that it put markers on the previous stuff. So if you miss, because I didn't know that the last one was 8 hours long.
Yeah.
It was long. And now you have these markers where you can go back and be like, oh, do you want to watch the Flash announcement?
Yeah.
Do you want to watch the Batman with Matt Reeves? Do you want to watch this whole the Harley Quinn Q&A? Like those different things, you have markers that'll take you directly to the first one that happened.
Yeah.
Which is really good and easy to. I feel like it was just a lot better. It looked better too.
Yeah, it does. It's a lot, like I said, a lot more easier to look at. Much more pleasant. You get to see a lot of. There's so many different panels. Wow.
Yeah. No, there's a lot. It's
so many
overwhelming, dude.
yeah.
It felt overwhelming. Now, with this in mind, do you feel like 24 hours was enough to fully appreciate it?
That is my gripe, if anything. I feel like if I honestly wanted to watch, if I'm a DC fan and I want to watch every little thing because I am such, a huge DC fan and I want to make sure that I see every single panel, every single video, because they not only panels, but they have like little short documentaries, one being Dwayne McDuffie's story of how he became a really good screenwriter for like Justice League Unlimited and stuff like that, because he's great and he passed away a couple years back. And like I want to watch that, but then also I want to see what the little they even have little shorts like Big Belly Burger, and that's the famous burger joint in the DC universe for Flash and stuff like that. I couldn't be able to watch this within a 24-hour span, knowing like also like I'm working and then I have to come home and I only have a few hours left in the day. That's why I didn't watch a lot, guys. I gotta work,
What was
I got
it? The
mouths
last,
to feed.
the last one, I was watching stuff at work.
Yeah.
You and I were both doing that.
Yeah, we were trying, we wanted to watch everything, guys. Like I want to watch the Pennyworth panel. I hear that was a great panel.
Yeah.
I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah.
But I can't because
it should have been over already. I don't know how you're still able to.
I'm still looking
access
at it.
Yeah.
No, I'm still looking at it.
Maybe
right
they
now.
left it up for a couple more hours. I don't know.
Well, maybe
because we're recording this at like it's already 11:20.
Yeah, and it started at 11 yesterday.
Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe they extended it a little bit. I don't know.
So, but like I said, they should officially extend it to maybe a weekend.
That's what I was thinking.
A weekend would be great.
All conventions are like that anyways.
I thought they were going to do that originally. Like, oh yeah, it was going to be like maybe split up to 2 days. No, it's a whole 24-hour span, which is great, but I can't watch everything.
Yeah.
In a 24-hour span. Some of these panels are more than an hour sometimes.
Do you think that maybe this was an advertisement thing?
Oh, yeah, I think so.
So, like, because keep in mind, and we'll ask this question afterwards about how this was advertised, the second one. But the first one, it was advertised like crazy.
Oh, my God. They were, within every single, like, YouTube video I was watching, they were pushing this. The first one, at least. And it was also on, if you watched anything that had to deal with Warner Brothers on any sort of ad platform, that maybe, like, if you were watching Hulu, and you were watching something like from the CW or something like that on Warner Brothers, they would be a DC FanDome trailer. And they posted a DC FanDome trailer before then as well too.
Because consider this, limited releases on like a lot of different things kind of goes to show that people are more interested in going into that rather than having something be a little bit or be available a little bit longer.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know if you kind of overheard this. I think it was this week actually when Nintendo announced Super Mario All-Stars 3D.
Yeah.
Did you pay attention to when it would stop selling?
No.
March 31st.
Oh.
So it's a limited release. So I pre-ordered my copy already because I'm a huge Super Mario fan and I wanted to play Super Mario 64 Sunshine in the Galaxy. But a lot of people were speculating. So there's two different big rumors regarding this, okay? And this will be related to what we're talking about in regards to DC FanDome. One, they ended the sales in March 31st of 2021 because that's the end of their quarter. So they wanted to show off that they can sell copies of video games and make a profit. And so they wanted to increase that margin. It's a business strategy, basically, right? The other part of it is more related to what Disney does with the Vault. It makes those games or movies or whatever it is. Disney, for example, locks all these different movies in a vault and they don't release them. It makes these movies more valuable to own. So it's the same thing with this. Oh, you have Super Mario All-Stars 3D. It's more valuable now because we're stopped selling it on March 31st. So with this, if you're advertising it to people as, oh, well, it's only a 24-hour event on this specific day, how are you, like, is it more likely that you're going to remember to watch this at that specific time? Or are you going to say, oh, well, if it's over the weekend, why not? I'll just spend my day Sunday. I can probably watch it then.
Yeah.
You're a little bit more lenient on it, right? But because it's 24 hours,
yeah, you got to
you're
watch
on
it.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think that was part of the reason as to why they might have did it?
You know what? Now that you kind of like laid it out like that, it does make sense.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't agree with it.
You don't? Yeah. No.
Yeah,
well, obviously.
yeah.
No. Obviously.
I don't like it. But again, yeah, it does make you feel more enticed. Like, oh crap, okay, I got to make sure that I tune in and stuff like that because it's only going to be there for a while. It does, yeah, because if anything, it does make you feel more enticed. But you can do the same thing for that in a span of a weekend for only Saturday and Sunday, and still be like, this is the only time you'll see this stuff is during the weekend. That's it. You can still do the same thing. I think it's just like, you know how like Comic-Con did it, where it was like, you know, you could watch all this stuff here, premiere here on these websites, but they're just going to be on YouTube later. You know, at least, you know, they don't technically have to do that because it's not going to be on YouTube later.
No,
this is it.
This is specifically, they license this stuff.
This is a specific website that they built, and it's only going to be up for 24 hours.
Yeah.
But again, I feel you can accomplish the same thing if you expand it for another 24 hours, just for Saturday and Sunday. You can still have the same effect. Yeah. You know, it's just that, you know, obviously not a lot of people are going to watch it the first day, or maybe they will. They want to see it the first day. And then next thing you know, there's going to be articles about it, you know, on tomorrow and stuff, you know, or like today there'll be articles. Like, again, there's been YouTube channels I watched this morning talk about DC FanDome, but they can't get any of the footage because it's all licensed. Yeah. So, like you said, one guy talked about basically the new, what was it? Not the new, but the original score. Was it Junkie XL for Scott Snyder's? It's not Scott Snyder's. Zack Snyder's Justice League, like the original score, is up on this website if you want to listen to it, but you can't listen to it any other sites because it's copyrighted.
That's smart from their end because they get to control the traction and pretty much see what their numbers are compared to something like Comic-Con, like you mentioned before. If you are watching the panels on IGN's YouTube channel, you would be getting the views there, but then you'd also have to look at the analytics from their website as well, from when it premiered, so on and so forth. Here, DC or Warner Brothers is controlling the entire portion of that analytic. You have to watch it on their website. They get to see how often you visit it or how many people go visit the website in a specific panel. It's great, but again, for me at least, it takes away from it takes away from people wanting to be a part of this community. Yeah. And it sucks because yesterday, what you were working, so we'll say, like, again, we're saying it, you were at work, I was at home, but at the same time as me writing this panel or this outline, I was watching
You're prepping for today's episode.
Yeah, I was watching the whole thing, and it's such a difficult thing to do. I felt like I couldn't really appreciate it, and plus it's also a weekend. What am I going to do?
That's true. That's another thing. And then another thing is that, like, like how we did it with the last episode of, DC FanDome, we talked about every single panel. We mentioned it in every single panel. We can't do it in this one because there are, again, so many, and we only have 24 hours to try to watch all this stuff. Yeah. And we want to present everything. We want to mention most stuff that happened on the episode as well, again, but we can't because it's only up for 24 hours. Yeah. If I refresh it, watch, maybe it'll be gone. Let's see.
Oh, no, please don't.
I already did.
Is it
it's still here. Oh, let me see if I can even click on it. Let's see. Let's see.
It's 11:28.
It's 11:28 right now.
How long is the podcast already?
It's gonna hit an hour in 2 minutes.
Oh well, Jesus! All right, I thought we were a little bit over, but no, we got time.
Let me see if. Oh yeah, I can still watch these panels right now.
Okay, so they probably maybe extended it.
They could be extending it, maybe. That if anything, if that's the case.
Can you double check to see the schedule and see when exactly it's over? Because I saw September 13th, but I don't know if it's like at the PM or AM that it takes it off.
Let's see. Oh, we could be in a different. They could be doing it in a different time zone.
Check the schedule.
Let's see.
Because that's an interesting thing to think about in terms of it being like, oh, well, they're going to extend it only for a certain amount of time. DC Fandom Schedule. We're going to look over here. It says, let's look at the All Villains Super Panel. No, September 13th at 10 a.m. Saturday, September 12th, 10 a.m. through Sunday, September 13th, 10 a.m. So I think it is extended, but it doesn't say.
Maybe it is extended to Sunday.
Well, on the end of Sunday.
Yeah, the end until the end of the day today.
Could be an interesting thing. Yeah. And
okay.
Gives me more time to watch some stuff when I get home.
We'll watch a little bit more. No, overall, but like but again, we had to check it, you know, because it wasn't advertised.
Yeah.
It's because they're selling it 24 hours. You go like, watch it till today, you know?
Yeah.
So that got us worried again. So if anything, they need to just work on the advertisement. Say, oh,
no,
okay.
the advertisement's fine.
The advertisement, fine. No, but just work on what you're trying to do. Like, okay, or just announce, or, you know, oh yeah, like on their Twitter, a DC FanDome has been extended till the end of Sunday. Mm-hmm. You know, that would have been cool. We didn't get that information. I had to sit on this website, you know, this whole time.
We never know. Maybe at the end of recording this, it gets taken down.
That could be it too.
It's already an hour and 30 minutes over.
Overall, though, I think so. Okay, if anything, so what did you like more? Did you like DC FanDome 2? Or did you like DC FanDome 1?
DC FanDome 1 was easily digestible because you jumped, at least for me, I feel like I have to say specifically for me because
no, in this time,
I don't want to get targeted and be like, you're just stating facts. And I'm like, no, this is my opinion.
Yeah, no, I think you have to say that. It's
okay,
fine.
This day and age, specifically
again,
for me.
guys, this podcast is strictly on opinions.
See, that's the thing. that they'll blur that out and be like, no, he's stating these facts.
They didn't hear that part. As soon as I say, it just...
At least for specifically for me, the first one was easily digestible. DCFandom.com, straight into the panel or straight into the presentation, and I get to watch it. Mm-hmm. Yes, I missed some stuff, but at least if I miss some things, I get to look back at articles and know exactly what I missed.
Yeah, because honestly, I think, sorry to cut you off, I was only, before this whole thing, I think I was only excited for maybe like 2 or 3 things.
Yeah.
And the DC FanDome 1. But after watching DC FanDome, I was excited for everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the first one, easily digestible, in, out, done, whatever, you know, for the full 24 hours. And you just get to rewatch it once in a while. Like, you know, at the end of my work day, went home, put it back on to work on that outline for issue 13, I think it was. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it was fun. It was great. This one, though, I felt was very overwhelming when you got to see everything in front of you.
It was weird because there was a lot of panels.
And I'm just like, what do I want to watch? Like, it's like, do I go here? Do I go there? But I think that's the beauty of the convention. Mm-hmm. And I think that's where it sold me on it. You don't walk into a convention and say, like, I'm going to do everything and anything. Mm-hmm. It's, holy crap, there's a lot.
It out.
Yeah. Which is why they have the schedule format.
I get that.
It's a very...
I do miss that feeling.
Bad.
Looking back at it, you know what? I do like going to conventions and be like, oh my God.
Wow.
Wait, what's the schedule? What does it say? Oh, the arrow panel is going to be up. Let's go right now. And you're just running.
Yeah, exactly.
Hit a Joker on your way. And you're like, sorry.
It's a bad blessing to have. Yeah. You can't watch everything, but to see the overwhelming amount of content.
Yeah.
Goes to show how much work went into this.
That's true.
Which is really great. Because I know some people are like, oh, so now you're complaining that there's too much. No, I'm not complaining that there's too much. It's just that I wish I could watch it all. And I think that pretty much brought this nostalgia feeling of the convention aspect of it.
I think the listeners, it hit the listeners right now too. They're like, see guys?
So it worked. It's really good. I liked it. Mm-hmm. I think digestion-wise for me, the first one, but I can really, really appreciate the second one on a deeper level.
So for my opinion, I do enjoy the first DC panel because I like, the first DC FanDome event, because when I talked about it with people, they were like, you know what? It was so cool because we just get to sit down on our couch, put it on our TV, eat whatever we want. It was like basically like an event, like watching a big event panel. And kind of like, it's kind of like our nerdy like World Series or football or sports event. You're just sitting there and you're like, oh, that's so cool. Look at that. You know, it's like, so I think that's why I like the feeling of the first one. But I do know now that the second one felt more convention-wise.
Yes.
Where you're like, oh man, wait, there's this?
Yeah.
But I want to watch that. Oh man, you know.
Like, So let me tell you this, okay? Because we're a little over the hour mark, so let's end it with this.
Yeah.
How would you, and I'll give you mine afterwards. How would you change future presentations of this? Because keep in mind, we said that these panels technically could work.
Yeah.
And I feel like DC made this work. Like
they perfected it in a way where if other conventions during this time don't do it like this, you're not gonna like it.
No, this was like, at least in our opinion.
Yeah, yes.
In our opinion. In our opinion, this worked. This
did.
got us excited. This made us watch the stuff.
Yeah.
This hyped us up to an insane level. And it was covered, I think, much more than the Comic-Con stuff.
Yeah.
Longer?
I think so.
Because people are still talking about certain things from the panels.
Yeah, no.
Even to this day.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we're still talking about the Batman trailer. And
Well,
stuff like that.
no one's going to stop talking about Batman.
Well, I mean, and then we're talking about like the video games as well too, Gotham Knights.
Yeah, and that's still a
Suicide
big
Squad.
topic.
Yeah.
That's still a big thing. So this is a big deal. This is now, I think, in my opinion, or in our opinion, because we both agree on this, this is the new outline of online conventions.
Yes.
Once everything goes back to normal, I think it'll be a little bit different. But if you want to have something online, this is what it goes. This is the way to go.
How to do it, yeah.
Now, what would you change about this? Because I do have some stuff that I would like to change. I think that if it had more time, if there was more time to prepare for this,
I think that would be the only thing that I would say is just expand the availability
okay,
of the source online. Just extend it to a weekend, to one weekend, and don't advertise it saying 24 hours. Say you get it Saturday through Sunday. You get to have everything. But then it's only open that. On Monday morning, it's gone.
okay,
I think that would be the best way to do it.
that's your thing.
That's my thing. That's my only critique. Other than that, I like how it's interactive, like the Funverse right now. I want to check out the Joker's escape room. That looks really cool.
Yeah, I might go. I didn't even. That was
do
the thing. I might do that when I get
yeah.
home.
That looks really cool. And then I love like you can still buy stuff. You know, you can buy a T-shirt and stuff like that.
They're really going ham on selling you like DVD copies as well.
Oh yeah, that'd be great. And and I liked how they basically you can still watch Superman Man of Tomorrow right now.
Yeah,
But that'll be it. After that, you have to buy it.
yeah, basically. So if there are any DC executives listening to this episode, which I doubt there will be, but if there is, in case, grab a notepad because I've got some stuff for you.
Here we go.
Okay,
Keeping up with the nerds.
Keeping up with the nerds.
Got you some
Tips and tricks on
tips
how to
and
run an
tricks.
online
There you go.
convention.
Keeping up with the nerds. Tips and tricks how to do conventions.
All right, so we can both agree, right, that the first one was pretty cool, right? People got to sit on their couches and watch this whole thing, right? But your biggest issue is the 24-hour event, right? You wish that it was a weekend-long thing. How about this? You extend it to 2 weekends, back-to-back. Weekend one day specifically, you do it the first way, where it's an entire presentation, 8 hours long, with panel after panel after panel after reveal after presentation, so on and so forth. For 24 hours.
Yeah.
So you get to watch that because we both got invested in that. That's how we got things going, right?
Definitely.
So have it for, let's say, weekend one. On Saturday, you do this for 24 hours. You just rerun the entire presentation, 8 hours long, done. Weekend two is this. Weekend-long event starting Friday all the way to Saturday. Friday is a pre-event. Saturday, Sunday is a hardcore event where you have all and everything being shown off. Friday is more of like the pre-show where you have like presentations here and there, small announcements, nothing big reveal. Saturday comes, everything drops. And you have this. You missed last week? Great. We'll give you the markers to jump back in on that last presentation.
Yeah.
And it's more accessible and easier. The reason why I want it that way instead of the way that it was formatted now is because everything is just back to back to back, right? Everything is going to be quickly available. You're going to be hyped for this for 2 weeks. It's going to be insane. Like, you will probably be super invested in this. I don't know what it was. Well, I know what it was, but this format, the way it was, because how long ago was the first one? It was in August, right? It was the beginning of August.
Mid-August, I think.
Mid-August.
Yeah.
If you do 2 weekends back to back, I feel like the hype would be continuous for 2 weeks. This one, I felt like the hype was there, then died down.
No, it's true because...
And then it kind of came back up again when this one happened.
Actually, there was like the week of the event coming up. It was like last week we were both like... Because we messaged each other for what to talk about for this upcoming episode. You're the one that said, well, there's a DC FanDome this weekend. And I'm like, oh, crap. Yeah. I completely, I spaced out on it.
If it was back to back.
Yeah, it was back to back. We would have basically been more excited, planned it out better and stuff, and been like, okay, we're going to do this, do that, because this is happening this weekend. And then the following weekend, they're going to do all these other panels and stuff like that. Yeah.
So, that's at least
got that,
that's
DC?
Yeah.
You got that?
Jim Lee? You got it?
Yeah?
Did you take notes?
I'm good.
All right, buddy.
All right. Don't forget to check that part right there.
So my number, it's gonna be. I'll send you an email. Just message us. We'll send you an email. You get the email.
We'll contact you.
Yeah. Our people will get in touch with your people, okay, and your people will get in touch with our people, and we'll exchange information there. Yeah. I got you, Jim Lee. I got you.
Just put an extra zero on right under that check right there.
Warner Brothers,
We accept checks made out to both Bryan and myself.
Rene's name first, okay? Rene's name first, and then I'll take the second name. I don't mind. It's fine.
And you're welcome.
Yeah. What a way to end this podcast. Just a little side note. I've been so obsessed with DC over the last 2 months. Marvel is sleeping.
You know what? That's so true. I've been more in a DC hype this past half of this quarantine. Or this whole pandemic thing. I shouldn't say quarantine. I don't think anyone's in quarantine anymore.
Yeah.
No one's really in quarantine.
Yeah.
It was, but basically, throughout this half of this pandemic, I've been more into DC than ever. I'm reading more DC books. Marvel. I know, and your favorite boy is Spider-Man too.
He's been sleeping, man. Honestly, it's kind of a shame. Like I was at City Walk yesterday, and I wanted a Batman shirt. I want a Batman Beyond shirt. Still on that. Uh-huh. Never gonna give up. I heard that they canceled Batman Beyond's comic. Is that true?
Oh, I don't know. They're canceling a lot of comics.
Double check for me because I'm gonna be sad. I'll be like, no. But DC's been hyping it, man. DC's been good, so I'm glad, man. Mm-hmm. Rene, is there anything you want to plug in? Give us our usual plugins.
Yeah, so guys, if you want to, you guys can follow the show at YouTube. If you guys are listening to this on YouTube, just hit that little subscribe button and don't forget to like. If you're listening to this on Spotify, go ahead and follow us on Spotify at Keeping Up with the Nerds Variety Hour. Also on Instagram, Keeping Up with the Nerds. It's Keeping with the Nerds. Yeah.
No, is it Keeping with the Nerds?
It's Keeping with the Nerds on Instagram. We don't have a Facebook page because we don't really believe in that.
No, Facebook. No.
But yeah, again, you guys can follow us. And then you can also follow me on my personal Instagram at Rene G. Bravo. You can follow Bryan's at
Turtles Bryan with a Z instead of an S.
And Bryan also does twitching. Have you twitched?
I have not. I've been super busy with some stuff, but I'm going to get back into it. I got a personal channel too, but I just got to figure some stuff out. But more important, plug in this show. Mm-hmm. Get this going.
Yeah.
We're working really hard, guys. We want this show to be something, and we're really trying to make our headquarters here in Whittier. We appreciate the city.
Yeah.
As mentioned before earlier, there is some stuff we're working on.
Yeah. October is going to be a big month, if anything, of just content that we're working on. Because it's gonna be we're assuming that Halloween might not be canceled, so we want to make sure that we get you guys in the Halloween spirit. With obviously we're gonna be mentioning horror movies here now and then. We're gonna have certain plans on certain things, basically. Maybe talk about some scary stories along the way as well. So look forward to October pretty soon, guys. So it's gonna be a big month for us.
Yeah. So just hit subscribe, follow us, guys. And as mentioned before, let us know. Yeah. We're social. We're antisocial in person, but we're social.
If there's something you guys think that we'd be interested to talk about, let us know, and we'll dabble into it. We'll make it an episode out of it.
And if you guys like the game show, let us know as well, because we'll keep this going.
We'll keep it going.
Yeah, I know
or if you don't like it, doesn't matter. We're gonna keep going anyways, because I like tasting energy drinks.
That and you like seeing me suffer earlier today, huh?
That was actually. How are you feeling by the end of this episode?
I'm fine now, but I think I drank about 400 milligrams of caffeine because I had the rest of the G Fuel and the Bang.
Oh my God!
I'm gonna be hyped up the rest of the day.
Double-fisted it.
I did. All right, are we ready to close this out, Rene?
Go for it, buddy.
Let's go. Thank you, citizens, for listening to this issue of Keeping Up with the Nerds Variety Hour. This is Bryan.
Rene.
Coming to you from 12920 Philadelphia Street, Whittier, California. Recording at Undercity Comics. We thank you, citizens, once again, and hope to see you all next time.